What's up, Atlanta Bird Gang? It's your boy, it's your dog, Toddy checking in with a video. Hey, before we get started, as we always ask, please do me a huge favor. Make sure to go ahead and hit the like on the video. Hit the like on the video for me, you know what I'm saying? By you hitting the like, that helps the channel grow, helps the video get out into different places. And we on that 1,000 subscriber grind, man. So, we need all the likes we can get right now. You know what I'm saying? We grind to 1,000. We just went over 300, so we got a long way to go. But with y'all help, you know what I'm saying, supporting the channel, liking the videos, we're going to get there sooner than later. So once again, just do your boy a favor, hit that like button, man, and I definitely appreciate it. Today, we're going to come back in and we're going to talk a little bit more about Desmond Ridder. As we all know, he was named the Falcons starter for the New Orleans Saints game. So he's going to be starting in his very first NFL regular season game. And it seems like most of the fans are very excited about it. We're excited for the change. I think a lot of us had kind of grown tired of Mariota and his limitations as a quarterback. So Desmond Ridder is going to be making his very first NFL start. Very hostile territory in New Orleans. But hey, NFL is the big boy league, so you got to be ready to play. So I'm hoping that he'll come out there with a victory and we'll come out there with a victory. Now, I did want to talk about, as you see on the title, gonna get a little bit controversial on this video. Not everybody might like it, and I'm sure some people will probably disagree with my sentiment, which is totally fine. Please believe if you disagree with anything I said, come in the comments and just tell me that you disagree. And as we always do, I'm always in the comment section. We can talk about it, we can debate it, we can discuss it, man. Never hurts my feelings when anybody disagree with me, and that's a good thing, man. We love the Falcons, we love our team, but part of being a Falcons fan or NFL fan in general, man, is just the great sports debates. That's some of the good things about it too. But let's get back to the topic at hand. I really feel like, y'all, Desmond Ridder is he's about to embark on a four-game audition. A four-game audition. In my opinion, Desmond Ridder has 4 games to convince the Atlanta Falcons not to draft a quarterback in the 2023 draft or sign a quarterback in free agency in 2023 to compete with him during the 2023 season as a starter. He has a 4-game audition. He has 4 games. And I know somebody is thinking, well, 4 games isn't enough time to judge a rookie. I agree with you. I do agree with you. But yet and still, he has 4 games. Now, I'm not saying if he plays 4 games and he doesn't perform well, that means his chances of being a starter is automatically closed. You've closed the door on his opportunity to be a starter. I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is I really feel like, based on situations, based on, again, where he was drafted at as a 3rd-round pick, don't get it twisted, y'all. Desmond Ridder is a low-risk, high-reward pick. As a 3rd-round pick. I've spoken on that before in another video. Based on our situation, based on where he was drafted at, and specifically our situation, Terry Fontenot, Arthur Smith specifically, they will be entering their 3rd year in the NFL next year as a head coach and also general manager. And at that point in time, you don't get any more passes. You don't get any more passes. We've already talked about before, at 7-10, we'll give you a pass for that. This year, we don't know how this year is gonna finish, but right now we're 5-8. So y'all don't get mad at me, but chances are we're gonna have a losing season. I'm not saying we are gonna have a losing season. I want us to win the rest of these games, but I'm being realistic, man. You're 5-8. You got 4 games left. Simple math says the chances are. That's why I say chances. Chances are we're gonna have another losing season. So If that does happen, I'll knock on some wood. I hope we win. But if that does happen and we do have another losing season, that means Arthur Smith now has started his first 2 years in Atlanta losing. So you know what that means? Because really the clock starts now with Arthur Smith. This is the quarterback he drafted. Even if it was third round, now the clock has started. So if we do happen to have 2 consecutive losing seasons, that means year 3 for Arthur Smith is pivotal. It's critical. It's of extreme importance. And you got to win. You got to win. You got to win. So that's why I say you take that situation, you take where Ridder was drafted at, and he has a 4-game audition, y'all. He has a 4-game audition to prove to the coaching staff, to prove to upper management like Fontenot that, hey, I can be the quarterback that you guys need me to be. In 4 games, it may not seem like a long time, which it really isn't, but that's the way the cards have been dealt. That's the way the cards have been dealt. And I really feel like if Ridder can't convince them, strongly convince them that he can become that quarterback that we would all like him to be, the Falcons will go back into the draft and take a quarterback with some they'll draft a quarterback early in the draft, first round, in all likelihood. They won't hesitate now. Okay, we got to draft. We got to go get a quarterback now. Because if Ridder doesn't perform like they want him to perform, and he's slow, and they see, well, he needs more time to develop, then you got to go and get your quarterback, because now you're not even sure about Ridder. And again, low risk, high reward, 3rd round pick. But by year 3, you got to be able to put your footstep, your footprint, on a quarterback. This is my guy. That normally happens when you take one in the 1st round. So if Ridder doesn't become the quarterback and he wins over the coaching staff and the front office, don't be surprised, guys, if we go in the 1st round and we draft the quarterback. I'm just telling y'all. I'm not sitting here guaranteeing that we will, but I'm telling you, do not be surprised, y'all. Because going into year 3, hey, something got to shake now, Arthur Smith. Something got to shake. So don't be surprised. Or if we don't, or if they say, well, no, we got to go defense in the 1st round this time. Because the past 2 drafts, we let the offense, Kyle Pitts, Drake London, get the 1st round pick. So if they decide to go defense, well, don't be surprised if you get a free agent to come in here that they feel like they can just plug and play. Who's a better passer than Mariota is. So that's why I say Ridder has like a 4-game audition, whether fair or foul. He in my mind, in my eyes, he has like a 4-game audition to convince the coaching staff, to convince upper management that I'm the guy. Go draft defense. Go sign defense in free agency. I'm going to be the guy. If not, y'all, I'm telling you, they're going to go in free agency, or they're going to go in the draft, and they're going to get a guy, because at that point, you got to get somebody in here. And also I feel like by you drafting a guy in the 1st round of quarterback, you buy yourself a little bit more time with ownership, with Arthur Blank. You'll buy yourself a little bit more time by drafting a guy. So that's where I'm coming from with it, y'all. And also right now, sitting at 5-8, we are currently projected to draft 11th in the NFL draft currently. So right now at 5-8, we will be drafting 11th in the NFL draft. And the thing about it, y'all, there is a lot. There isn't a whole lot of difference between where we're drafting at 11th, at 5-8, and Denver right now is at 3-9. So it's only one game in the loss column at this time. That's not a whole lot of difference, y'all. Again, Denver is at 3-9, and our Falcons right now are at 5-8. The difference in the loss column is only one game in the loss column between those two teams. So between number 3 and number 11, where we're at, you got a bunch of 5-8 teams, a bunch of 4-8 teams, a bunch of 4-9 teams. And I'm knocking on wood, but if things don't go well for us and we only win 1 or 2 more games this year, y'all, we could find ourselves drafted in the top 5, the top 8. You know, God forbid we don't win any more games. You know, we definitely be a top 5 draft pick. Because again, there's only one game in the loss column. You know, so if the Falcons don't get on a roll, they're going to be drafted in the top 10. If we finish off the season real bad, we will be probably drafted in the top 5. And the thing about it, when you're drafting in the top 5, that kind of becomes quarterback territory in my mind. And I kind of think in the top 10 becomes quarterback territory also. And that's why, I'm bringing that to light. Because this is a strong quarterback class this year. You got a lot of potentially good to great quarterbacks that are going to come out this year. So things don't go right, man. And we finished the season 6-11, 7-10 again, 5-12. We end up with the 3rd, 4th pick of the draft. Now, Bryce Young is within reach. CJ Stroud is within reach. And all the flack the Falcons caught when they didn't draft Justin Fields when he was there. Caught a lot of flack. Because a lot of people feel like today, look, you'd have just drafted Justin Fields. You'd already had your quarterback here. And Ridder may be that quarterback. We just don't know yet. We don't know. But I'm saying if you find yourself and you draft the number 4 or 5 and somehow, I don't think it's going to happen, but somehow Bryce Young is still there, or CJ Stroud is still there, what do you do at that point? Do you not take one of those guys? And again, there's a lot of other guys in this year's draft also, man, that you just can't ignore for the Falcons. You just can't ignore them. Let's look at some other guys who we got here. Also you got, of course, Will Levis. And I'm going to be honest, I know not everyone is big on Levis, but based on Arthur Smith's system, man, Will Levis fits it perfect. Will Levis fits what we do perfect. And he's big, he's tall, he's built like a quarterback. His stature reminds me of Cam Newton and Josh Allen. He has a big arm. There's a lot of things he needs to work on mechanically, but I think he would fit Arthur Smith's system pretty good. I think he'd fit that system pretty good. And there's just a lot of things that could be done here, man. Will Levis, and then you got Hendon Hooker. What if we're sitting there at 12 or even in the second round, because Hendon Hooker's coming off that ACL injury. So what if Hendon Hooker's there in the second round? That's just thing you look at. And even even somebody like Anthony Richardson. And I'm watching Richardson this year. I said to myself plenty of times, like, man, I wouldn't want this guy on Atlanta because he struggles to pass the ball. Because one thing about me, like, I want an athletic quarterback, but I also want a quarterback who has the arm talent. I value arm talent more than I do a quarterback having, that super duper athleticism. But based on the offense that we run, if Anthony Richardson is sitting there in the first round or the second round when we come up the draft, you think Arthur Smith isn't sitting there, doing the Birdman hand rub, like, oh my God, what could I do with Richardson? And he's probably thinking it to himself, like, hey, we can make the kid a better passer. But Anthony Richardson probably has the most upside of any quarterback in this draft. I think he's like 6'3", 6'4". In fact, let me check. How big is Anthony Richardson? He's 6'4", 232. you know, 6'4", 232, and he's running a 4.48. So that's just stuff you got to think about. You got to consider, man. There's a whole lot of options to explore. If Ridder doesn't perform up to the coaches in the front office standards, just a lot of things you got to consider, man. So we got a lot of options there, man. Again, you got Anthony Richardson, even Tanner McKee is in there, Hendon Hooker, Will Levis, C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young. Even though I think Bryce Young will probably be one of the first two players drafted, but if we draft number 4, we're within range. So you just don't know. We don't know. We got to wait to see how Desmond Ridder is going to play. We got to wait to see how we're going to either win or lose the last 4 games. But I'm just telling y'all, man, all this stuff is a possibility. All this stuff is definitely on the table for our team. So Ridder has 4 games. And then then you can talk about free agency. You can talk about free agency. I know there has been some chatter within the Falcons fan base about, well, we may bring on Ryan Tannehill next year. That I don't foresee that happening. Anything is possible, but I don't see the Tannehill thing happening because, for one, Malik Willis isn't ready yet. When Malik Willis started this year, he looked a mess. He needs another 2 or 3 years on the bench just to develop. And that's why I didn't want the Falcons to draft him, because I knew he was a project quarterback. For all the people in our Atlanta Bird Gang group, they'll tell you, like, yeah, that's what I was saying. I was saying he was a project. So I don't see Tennessee getting rid of Tannehill next year. Of course, him and Arthur Smith, they have the past relationship there, but I don't think they're going to get rid of Tannehill. Because, again, Malik Willis, he just isn't ready yet, man. He's completing 40% of his passes. You got NBA, you got Steph Curry, who makes a higher percentage shooting 3-pointers than his completion percentage. Shout out to Malik Willis, but hey, I'm just keeping it real. So I don't think Tannehill will be there now. Derek Carr could be there. Derek Carr could definitely be there. The thing with Derek Carr is, a few things with Derek Carr. First thing is the current general manager and head coach, that's not Derek Carr isn't their guy. They inherited Derek Carr. They didn't draft Derek Carr. They didn't sign him in free agency. They inherited him. And another thing is the money. If they get rid of Derek Carr, they save like $30 million on the salary cap. And their dead cap hit is only like $5 million. $5 million and you saving $30 million for a quarterback, man, you don't even miss that. That's nothing but a win for the Raiders financially. And even if they do it post-June, which they probably wouldn't, the dead cap hit at that point is only about $1.8 million, and they would save closer to $35 million. So Derek Carr is a possibility. I think Derek Carr will probably be a free agent. So That's a possibility. If they decide not to draft a quarterback, going to free agency, Derek Carr is definitely a strong possibility in my opinion. You know, because you got to think also, guys, like our quarterback room next year before free agency starts, we're probably only going to have one quarterback in the quarterback room, and that's Desmond Ridder. I can almost guarantee you Felipe Franks will not be here. That free ride is over. That experiment is over. It didn't work. He's out of here, taking up a roster space. And I'm pretty sure Marcus Mariota is out of here also. You know, that experiment didn't work either, even though I really feel like Mariota came in and did a commendable job. The talent level just wasn't there. And it seems like the guys in the locker room liked him a lot, but the talent level wasn't there. But again, right at the end of the season, right before free agency starts, like we're probably only gonna have one quarterback in the quarterback room. So yeah, we're gonna have to draft a quarterback or bring somebody bring somebody in for free agency. You know, so that's some of the reasons that I'm talking about this also as well. And you know, if we just take a look at some of the other available free agents that'll, you know, be hitting the market, you got guys like Tom Brady. I don't see him coming to Atlanta. Baker Mayfield. I really wouldn't want Baker Mayfield here. Jimmy Garoppolo. It's possible. You know, he's only 31 years old, and contrary to what a lot of people say about Jimmy G is not a bad quarterback. Jimmy Garoppolo is a pretty good quarterback. So possible. Teddy Bridgewater. I don't know. Daniel Jones. Arthur Smith system, quite possibly. Geno Smith, you know, possible. And then, of course, you got the Golden Nuggets sitting out there, Lamar Jackson. Whatever happens in Baltimore, you know, Lamar hits free agency, you can bet your last dollar that Fontenot will give him a call. You know, so we got a lot of options out here, man. Got a lot of options, man. But you know, I just wanted to talk about that, man, because when I talk about it in our Falcons Facebook group, Atlanta Bird Gang, some of the fans they just freak out. You know, they just freak out. And me, I'm the type of fan. I mean, I root for the moment, but I'm always looking at the future. You know, always looking at the future. And everything that I just laid out, you know, during this last 20 plus minutes, hey, we're only gonna have like one quarterback in the quarterback room. If Desmond Ridder plays the next 4 games and he doesn't look good, you know, Arthur Smith would now be in his 3rd year. He has to start winning. You know, because I'm telling y'all, like, Arthur Blank just not gonna let him stay here forever without winning. You got to start winning next year. And if Desmond Ridder isn't gonna be the guy, you got to get your guy here next year. No ifs, ands, or buts. So there's a lot of things that could happen from the free agent side, from the NFL draft side, especially guys. Of course, we always want our guys to win, but if the Falcons finish the season off on a bad note, they end up with a top 5 draft pick, it'll be hard to say no to a guy like CJ Stroud, Will Levis. I mean, even if we get in the top 10, more than likely somebody will be there for us. You know, 2nd round, maybe Anthony Richardson is still there in the 2nd. Again, maybe Hendon Hooker is still there in the 2nd round. And Hendon Hooker is like the best college quarterback that don't get a lot of notoriety. You know, the man only threw like 2 interceptions and about 40 passing touchdowns in college. His passing numbers his last 2 years in Tennessee are damn near flawless. And he has great athletic ability. He can tuck the ball and run it also. But I just wanted to talk about that, y'all. Tell me how you feel. Let's talk about this actually in the comment section. So tell me how you feel in the comment section. If you think there's a chance we'll draft a quarterback, or if you think there's a free agent we'll have a chance to get. If you think Lamar Jackson won't resign with Baltimore and he's coming to Atlanta, let's talk about it in the comment section. So leave your comments. Tell me what you think. Also, if you think everything I'm saying is BS, tell me that also in the comment section. Don't forget to like the video also. As I always say, man, hey, I will see you the next time I see you. Peace.